The Galactic Council chamber floated above a blue star, bright and calm. It was a place where powerful species decided the fate of weaker ones. Today, every seat was full. The topic was humanity. Large screens showed images of human colonies, small worlds, growing fast, spreading into space once owned by others. Many council members looked displeased. "They expand too quickly," said the tall reptilian delegate. "They do not ask permission." "They are divided," another voice added. "Different nations, different leaders. No true unity." The council agreed on one thing. Humans were dangerous, but not because of strength. They were dangerous because they adapted. The oldest council member, an ancient being with a soft glowing form, raised a hand. The room went silent. "We have watched humanity for centuries," it said. "They fight among themselves. They argue. They are slow to agree." Some delegates laughed quietly. "Then this will be easy," one said. A vote was called. The decision was simple. The council would send a final warning to Earth. Humans would be ordered to stop expanding beyond their current borders. If they refused, the council's fleets would act. The warning message was prepared. Cold, formal, final. On Earth, the message arrived during a normal day. People went to work. Ships moved through orbit. No alarms sounded. No panic spread. The message was delivered to human leadership. They read it in silence. No one replied. Hours passed. Back at the council chamber, the delegates waited. Confidence filled the room. Humans always talked. Humans always argued. They expected long messages, threats, or begging. None came. Perhaps they need time to decide. One delegate said. Then the alarms rang. Council sensors detected movement near the system. Unknown ships. No identification. No communication signals. That is not possible, the defense commander said. This system is secure. The screens changed. Dark shapes appeared in space. Long, sharp, silent. They moved like living creatures, not machines. No engine glow, someone whispered. No signals. The oldest council member leaned forward. Those are not defense ships, it said slowly. They are predators. Council fleets were ordered to form a defensive line. Hundreds of alien warships moved into position, weapons charging. The dark ships did not slow down. One of them moved ahead of the others. It drifted close to a council cruiser. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the cruiser went dead. No explosion. No warning. Just silence. The cruiser drifted, powerless. Panic spread through the chamber. Fire. A delegate shouted. Energy weapons lit space. Missiles launched. The dark ship vanished and reappeared behind the fleet. Another cruiser died. Then another. The council realized something terrible. These ships were already inside their defenses. On Earth, far away, a human general watched a silent screen. They took our warning as weakness, he said. Another officer nodded. They always do. The human fleet did not attack cities. They did not send messages. They hunted. Back in the council chamber, communications failed one by one. Delegates shouted. Orders overlapped. Fear replaced pride. The oldest council member whispered a truth too late. Humans do not wait to be hunted. Outside the chamber, more dark ships arrived. The council had planned a meeting. Humanity had planned a response. And humanity had arrived first. The council system was no longer calm. Dark human ships moved through. Space without lights, without sound. They did not fly in lines or formations. They spread out like hunters, cutting off every escape path. Council fleets tried to regroup. Orders were sent. Signals failed. Target locks broke again and again. Human ships appeared for seconds, fired once, then vanished. Each time they struck, An alien ship went dead. Not destroyed. Disabled. Drifting. The Council Defense Commander shouted at his officers. Scan harder. Find their engines. The scanners showed nothing. These ships are not hiding, one officer said in fear. They are silent. Inside the council chamber, delegates argued loudly. Fear replaced confidence. This is an attack. One shouted. No, this is intimidation. Another replied. The oldest council member did not speak. It watched the screens carefully. These ships are not here to talk, it finally said. They are here to control. Outside, a human predator ship locked onto a council supply station. One short pulse was fired. The station lost all power. Hundreds of ships docked there were frozen in place. Panic spread across the system. Civilian traffic stopped. Trade routes collapsed. Emergency lights flickered on council stations. Still, no human message came. A young council delegate whispered, "Why won't they speak?" The ancient member answered quietly, "Because predators do not warn prey." Suddenly, a new signal appeared, not from Earth, from one of the oldest alien races on the council. Their delegate stood slowly and spoke with shaking voice. "I recognize those ships." The chamber fell silent. "We faced humans long ago," the delegate continued. "Before the council existed. We attacked their early colonies." The delegate swallowed. "They learned from us." Fear filled the room. Council fleets launched everything they had. Thousands of weapons filled space with light. Human ships moved through it untouched, one by one. Council warships lost engines, weapons, then life support. Crews survived, but helpless. Human attacks were careful, exact. Cold. They were not killing. They were removing power. On Earth, commanders watched the battle unfold. No cheers followed. No excitement. Phase 2 complete, an officer reported. The general nodded. They can no longer move or fight. In the council chamber, panic turned into shame. They came first, a delegate whispered. We planned to attack them. The truth was clear now. Humans had predicted the council's decision. They had listened. They had prepared. And they had arrived before any vote could turn into war. At last, Earth sent a message. Every screen in the system turned black. White text appeared. You called a council. We called it a hunt. The message vanished. Human ships continued to move deeper into the system, surrounding the council world itself, the councils. Great defenses powered down without a fight. Delegates stood in silence. Meeting was over. The hunt had begun. The council no longer argued. They watched, on every screen. Human predator warships moved with perfect control. Council fleets were frozen in space, powerless and silent. Supply stations were dark. Communication hubs were gone. The council had lost without understanding how. The defense commander tried one last order. All remaining fleets, full attack. Use everything. Weapons charged. Energy beams fired. Missiles filled the void. Human ships did not retreat. They passed through the fire like shadows. Their hulls bent space around them. No weapon found its mark. Then the humans struck back. Not with chaos. With purpose. Human warships hit fuel depots first. Then repair yards. Then long-range sensors. The council's military strength did not fall all at once. It collapsed piece by piece. Inside the chamber, a council member shouted, "Why do they know our system so well?" The oldest council member answered slowly, "Because they studied us while we ignored them." Long ago, humans had been treated as a minor species. Council records showed few meetings, few concerns. Humans were left alone to grow. They remembered. A human predator ship stopped directly above the council world. It did not fire. It waited. The meaning was clear. We can reach you. It said without words. Council delegates tried to open communication. Emergency signals were sent to Earth. They begged for talks, for compromise. The human fleet ignored them. On Earth, human leaders watched in silence. Maps showed Council space fully controlled. A general spoke. They still believe this is about borders. Another officer replied, they never learned how humans fight. In Council space, human ships began deploying small devices across key planets. These devices did not explode. They connected. They locked systems down. Planetary defenses shut off. Orbital cannons went dead. Shields faded. The Council worlds were defenseless. Panic spread to civilian populations. News channels filled with fear. Citizens demanded answers their leaders could not give. The Council tried to explain. They could not. At last, a human message arrived. Every Council screen activated. A single human stood in shadow. No uniform. No symbol. You believed humans would wait, the voice said calmly. You believed we would argue while you decided our future. The image changed, showing Council fleets frozen in space. You underestimated us. The human continued. When you planned to hunt us, we prepared to hunt you. The message ended. Silence followed. The Council world trembled as human ships moved closer. Not in attack formation, but in control. The oldest Council member lowered its head. We made a mistake, it said. Outside the chamber, human ships formed a perfect ring around the planet. Stars disappeared behind dark hulls. The Council world was trapped. Other species across the galaxy watched in fear. They saw something new. Not human anger, human certainty. On Earth, the general gave the next order. Begin final containment. The hunt was no longer about ships. It was about authority. And the Galactic Council was about to learn what it meant to lose control to the species they once ignored. The Council world was quiet. For the first time in centuries, the delegates did not argue. They did not shout. They did not even breathe loudly. Every screen, every sensor, every ship showed the same truth. Human predator warships were everywhere. No one had ever seen anything like it. Council chambers lost power mid-discussion. Emergency lights flickered. Holograms froze. Communication lines failed. The delegates' voices echoed in the empty room, unheard. Outside, human ships moved silently through the system. They did not fire weapons. They did not send messages. They simply controlled everything. A young delegate whispered, "What are they doing?" The oldest Council member looked at the screens. Its glow dimmed. "They are showing us who holds power," it said, "and we cannot stop them." Council fleets tried to regroup. Hundreds of warships fired energy beams, missiles, and plasma cannons. Human ships vanished from sensors, then reappeared behind them. Every attack failed. Every countermeasure failed. Every fleet was frozen or disabled within minutes. One human ship hovered above the Council's main defense station. Its weapons did not fire. Its shields did not block. It simply waited. And then the first broadcast appeared. It was not a threat. Not a demand. Not even words. It was a show of control. The human fleet sent images to every Council screen. Planets with frozen systems. Warships powerless, cities locked in quiet order. Civilian and military alike were alive, but unable to resist. The Council delegates stared at the screens in disbelief. "Do they want to talk?" asked one trembling voice. "No," the oldest member whispered. "They are not negotiating. They are judging." The human message followed. Simple words, white on black. "You underestimated us. You planned to hunt. We arrived first." The Council members looked at each other in silence. Outside, The human fleet moved closer, forming a perfect ring around the Council world. Any attempt to escape, any attempt to resist, would be noticed immediately. Other species across the galaxy watched in shock. Messages begging Earth to stop poured in, but they were ignored. The humans did not need to answer. Their actions spoke louder than words. The Council world's orbital cannons went offline. Shields faded. Communications were cut completely. The delegates realized the truth. They had called a meeting to judge humanity. Humanity had called it a hunt, and humanity had arrived first. In the council chamber, panic turned into despair. Delegates tried to give orders. Their fleets were frozen. Their satellites disabled. Their cities watched quietly from above. Silence filled the room. The oldest council member said nothing for a long moment. Then it spoke, softly but firmly. They do not wait to be hunted. They arrive first, and now. We have no choice. Outside, human ships waited, calm, silent, predatory. The galaxy knew one fact that day. The council had lost. The hunt was not over yet, but the power, the control, and the fear had already shifted, and somewhere, deep in the shadows of Earth's command center, a single officer reported, Phase 4 complete. The council knows. Now we decide their fate. Silence followed, and the galaxy waited. The council world was silent. For the first time, delegates understood the truth. They had called a meeting to judge humanity, but they had underestimated the species they had always ignored. Human predator warships surrounded the planet, not attacking, not threatening, simply in control. The council fleets were frozen. Orbital cannons were dead. Communication hubs were locked. Citizens watched their world from orbit, alive but helpless. A human officer appeared on every council screen. Calm, silent, predatory. You called a council, the officer said. We called a hunt. We arrived first. The image changed, showing council fleets disabled, cities frozen, systems locked. Human ships drifted silently around planets and moons like hunters circling prey. This is not revenge, the officer continued. This is justice. You turned our species into a spectacle. You planned to judge us. You failed. Council delegates tried to respond, plead, argue, negotiate. Every signal failed. Human ships moved faster than they could react. Every countermeasure collapsed. For the first time, the council understood humans did not wait to be attacked. Humans arrived first, always ready, always prepared. Then the humans acted. They did not destroy the council world. They did not slaughter its people. They removed its authority. Command centers, war fleets, and control hubs were disabled. The council's power evaporated without bloodshed. Other alien species across the galaxy watched in awe and fear. They realized the humans had set a new rule. No one hunts humanity again. The human officer's voice returned, calm but firm. Consider this your lesson. Do not underestimate humans. Do not test our patience. Do not mistake silence for weakness. This is the galaxy's new order. Earth's fleets withdrew, leaving the council world intact but powerless. Systems hummed with life, but the planet's leaders could no longer command ships, armies, or colonies. Humanity had decided their fate and spared them. Across the galaxy, governments recorded the event. Military leaders revised strategies. Scientists studied the humans. Scholars wrote warnings for centuries to come. The message was simple. Humans do not wait. Humans arrive first. Back on Earth, no celebrations followed. No cheers. A general and officers watched screens in silence. Respect, not pride, filled the room. They had made their point. The galaxy had learned its lesson. Phase 5 complete, said one officer. The general nodded. Let history remember. But we remained silent. The council world remained intact but empty of power. Citizens returned to daily life, unsure of what had happened. The galaxy would never forget. Humanity returned to silence. Trade resumed. Borders reopened. But fear remained not fear of human anger, but fear of human certainty, for humans did not need to fight to show strength. They simply arrived first, and the galaxy would think twice before ever hunting them again.